Welcome back. So we are on the last module. Again, if I have to go through the best resources, prompt engineering for generative AI is a very good resource. There is a paper by Google, and finally, OpenAI guide is also very nice. So among there are a lot of other resources. These are the ones that I liked personally. We did see what a zero-shot prompting is, few-shot prompting, chain of thought, React, meta prompting, self-consistency, prompt chaining. Each of them has their own use case. It just builds from the top and then comes to a point where your runbook will be chained and you can give and use it as a peer engineer for you to troubleshoot and stuff. The idea and the whole concept of this is to encourage you to have the database of your own prompts and deal with it. So with respect to the last one, which is like prompt chaining, right? We saw an OSPF example of that particular concept, and we saw how powerful it is to have a list of steps given to the LLM and let it help us to troubleshoot a particular neighbor relationship issue. The last one is generate knowledge. Now, most of us have been using this particular one, but I think we have to use it in a very proper way. So if we go back to the generate knowledge, encourages the model to produce relevant background information before answering a query. That's very important. Explain a concept before solving a related question. What do I mean by that? Scenario: a network engineer wants to understand best practices for securing a corporate network. That's a scenario. That's not a prompt, right? So here is the prompt. Generate knowledge about best practices for securing a corporate network. Include recommendations for hardware configuration, software tools, and policies to prevent unauthorized access. Now, this is a beautiful prompt, and it starts with the keyword generate knowledge. Right? A bad example would be something that most of us do on a daily basis. A network engineer wants to understand best practices for securing a corporate network. The prompt: tell me how to secure a corporate network. Exactly, right? We usually end up with the prompt. There's nothing wrong with this prompt, but the prompt here would help us to identify organize the information in a very structured way. So if we have to go to Gemini, say generate knowledge about configuring MPLS layer 3 VPN, indicate best practices, and Cisco and Juniper networking gear and software versions which can help us with this configuration. Okay. So it is generating the knowledge. So it says what are the core concepts, how many types of routers, what are different terminologies that are available to do something like this. We did ask about configuration, so it's asking about it's letting us know about the configuration, MPPGP and family supported. It's giving us the best practices for layer 3 VPN, which we have asked. Cisco configuration example and software version is something that it is giving us, which is so it started with ASR, Catalyst, XR 9000 series. The Juniper, it is giving us the VRF creation, software versions, layer 3 VPN, and it's a fairly standard feature on the Junos one. So the more you tweak this, the output. We have seen like different prompts, how we want it with few short example. For example, the more you tweak the output to your needs, the more powerful the knowledge would get. And an added power of this is something when we have used perplexity, which is searching a very specific site, let's say Juniper, and then it starts to give you a very specific LLM based knowledge based on the sources that a site has. It becomes even more powerful and more specific to what you want. Like, it doesn't hallucinate, it doesn't go to a wrong source, and you don't end up with wrong information, for example. So these are some of the things I thought which are very important to understand and frame a prompt. I'll share the prompts that I have been using for a while. They get always updated. I'll also make couple of more videos, because we have seen how do we get in touch with an API and how do we use a function call for this. Now we can use an agent for it, like ADK, for example, is an agent development kit that is released by Google Gemini. So we can use it, which is free of cost. And we can also have agents connecting to each other. We can use different platforms. Oracle Cloud is one good infrastructure where you can use these concepts. There are other hyperscalers which can help you with this. So try these examples, and anything, just leave a comment or leave feedback. Thank you so much, and good luck.